welcome to episode 6, part 3 of the motor and cab mock-up. Let's start this episode off with hooking the steering column up to the rack and pinion. Alright, got the front end off yet again. Seems to be the common occurrence. I need to get that off the power rack tied into that, and there isn't a lot of clearance, so I'm about to figure that out. All right, I pre-ordered a few things. I got a double U-joint, hoping I don't have to use that one. I have a single U-joint, and I have a spline U-joint that hooks to the power rack. For a starting point, I got a Heim joint, two of them, just in case. I'm hoping to only have to use one. I have some 5/8 dowel, and I'll use those as templates to piece it all together, so I can then, once these all fit perfect as a mock-up, I can cut the steering shaft. And then up here, I have a 1-inch DD by 3/4 coupler. So that's gonna be my starting point, and I'm gonna get started. So you'll see just up in there, it's just a little bit of black Sharpie on the motor mount bracket. I just got to trim a little bit there, so I'll be able to just clear through there. I'm sure this is probably a new one for you guys out there. Don't know if welders use cardboard templates for steel or just go at it. No idea. But it's worked for me so far, so I'm going to keep doing it. Cut this, drill that, Heim joint goes in there, can move it back and forth, double nutted on each side, so I'll be able to adjust it. Weld that in there on the angle that I need, it can pivot it, there's lots of room. Tie that into that, boom, done. Alright, let's tack weld it in. So I got the truck jacked up so I can turn the tires and just kind of see what it does. It appears to be good. Alright, there's the steering shaft. There's my two pieces, top column, rack. I know they fit, test fit them. Now I'll just transfer and cut the shaft, put it all together, give it another try. All right, now it's all tied together. And everything works. So now that it works, I can pull out the set screws, mark them, and then drill partially into the steering shaft to allow the Allen heads to set and lock themselves in there. So I'll do that next, and then I'll just trim out that little piece. Like I said, it's just rubbing, but I just want a little more clearance. Taking it all apart, and I've just drilled some smaller holes in there. So that'll just countersink, just enough to lock it in. Obviously use Loctite, but it won't take the integrity of the shaft away by drilling all the way through. steering. Still waiting on the steering wheel. eBay has not been good to me so far on this truck for anything I've ordered. Delays. But I really want that steering wheel. I had a vision of the black and white one. It's the only one I could find, so I'm waiting patiently for that. Last thing I got to do is just bolt the bottom of the column, but I'm not going to do that yet because this is the old clutch hole. I'm going to have to weld something in there. Brakes got to be fabricated in here, what I'm working on next. So until I kind of sort out this area, I'm just going to leave that out. Other than that, steering works. So we're moving on. All right, see if you can see this. So if I were to put master cylinder down on the frame, it's close to the exhaust, for one. For two, the brake pedal actually comes centered right on the frame rail. So I'm gonna have to somehow offset it, but if you were to push the brake, it's going to run into the exhaust. If I were to mount it on this side, have it far back as I can before I hit the step side braces. When I turn the tire, it runs into the pedal as soon as you push it down. So I'm going to need to somehow modify two into one. I'll stop there. Sorry to make you go through watching all that fabrication. Here it is, worked great. Had my heart set on not having the master cylinder on the firewall. I wanted it clean, kind of like a shaved engine bay look. On this particular truck, the way the frame is, this cannot go all the way under there. For one, I won't be able to have access, and I'm not putting an access in the cab to get to it. So I was able to fabricate it to move it all the way down so I could get access, and the pedal worked. It did. But I didn't know a whole lot about manual brakes, and now knowing that it's just got too much travel. I'll show a picture right here how far the brake pedal goes off for the brake pedal ratio. Having the electronic gas pedal, modern, right next to some big manual brake pedal, I can't do it. So I'm still trying to work through it, but I have ordered the bracket for the 47 to 53 master cylinder bracket that bolts. It's just 4 bolts right here, super simple. Bolts to the column, the 2 bolts by the column. The brake booster bolts right onto that. I'll show you what that looks like here. And then after, the master cylinder bolts on the booster, and then the proportioning valve bolts onto that. Comes with a bracket that even goes on it as well. There it is. So it all sits pretty nice. Unfortunately, I have to go that route. Now, I am, a plumber by trade in the mechanical industry, so I think I can bring to the table doing some nice bends on the brake lines to make it look extra good. That's kind of my specialty, I think. So anything to do with any plumbing, engine coolant lines, any of that, I think I'll excel on that more than anything. And that's all I can really do, I don't think I'm going to show you guys or even bolt this up since the firewall's coming out. It's literally 4 bolts. I'm probably just going to do that in the final stages when I'm building the truck for the final version. For now, yeah, I tried. I learned. I got to learn about brakes. I got to use my welder. Yeah, so let's just go from there.